This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Aurora, Colorado. We're here at Office Evolution. I've caught up with Zanbear since 2014. They have been helping you grow your enterprise by achieving successful outcomes in many areas. I'm here with the founder. Sherry, thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off, first of all, give me a little bit of background on yourself, what it is that got you involved in this particular line of work.
Well, I believe my 25-year career has led me to this line of work. I started out in very large companies, kind of questioning how processes were done. And instead of having mentors that would shut me down or not help me, they actually encouraged me and put me into situations that weren't necessarily a part of my job, but it really helped me grow and learn. And then I took that information and I started going to smaller companies, and that was just a wonderful experience because, again, they let me run with what I wanted to run with, and I got to learn when I wanted to learn. They did wonderful professional development for me, and now I use it all to help other people.
Wonderful. I mean, let me ask you this. Obviously, you've been at it for some time, gaining a lot of knowledge in the industry. Why is it companies are faced really with limited resources anymore? I mean, is that something that you're coming across quite often?
Well, everybody tries to do more with less. And with I think the tech industry has really spearheaded that, making things put on the cloud, making it easier for us to connect, that we don't have to travel so much because we have Skype and all these different office supplies and various pieces to it. So I think that has spearheaded the fact that people think we can do more with less, which they can, in all honesty.
But obviously with some guidance. I mean, that's where you come in. It's business development is what you're really doing here. How important is it for people to have a growth strategy set up to make sure that they're successful?
I think it's imperative. We've all heard the Zig Ziglars and the Lombardi, yes, who would say that, without a plan, you're not going to get anywhere. And that is so true. And I think that people overthink their plans. They think that once that they've set it, that's the only track they can take, which isn't true. That your business is a moving target, and you constantly have to adjust your perceptions and what you're doing based off of what you know at that time. And so the whole idea that I try to instill is, let's get you the best information we can get you so you're making good decisions.
Interesting. And so regardless if somebody out there is putting together a new product line or a new service line, you're really able to help them either one of those areas? Yes.
I actually consider myself a generalist when it comes to it because I am doing internal operations. I'm helping you when you find out that you're in growth mode or you find that you're losing track of what's happening in your business. It's all to bring that piece back together and help your managers talk to each other. Studies have been done that find out that managers are very, very good at what they do, but they're not so good at knowing what their other managers are doing, and so therefore they don't know how to help each other.
Speaking of helping each other, you really you partner up with these companies, yet at the same time you're an outsider, so you're able to give a unique outside perspective. Do you think that's beneficial for them as well?
Absolutely. For my clients, I am their greatest cheerleaders when they're doing the right things and they're seeing progress and momentum and everything's moving along. But I'm also the person that has to deliver the bad news. So it's really about the relationships that I have with them, that they can take the bad news from me and that they're working on the good stuff and know that I'm there for their success.
That's very important, that input. Let me ask you this, proper internal controls, making sure you have those in place. Not only does it make the labor force easier day for them, but does it affect the bottom line as well?
Always. Again, everybody thinks that your employees aren't necessarily wanting rules. They really do. They want to know your expectations, and that's what policies are. And they eventually go into a handbook, and then it becomes your policy and your culture of your company. But so, yes. And by knowing what is expected of them, they're not spinning their wheels, they're not working on things that they don't really need to be working on, and yeah, it'll affect your bottom line.
Speaking of some of those things they're working on, are companies surprised sometimes some of the bottlenecks you're able to find or fix? Or not only that, but maybe finding out multiple people are doing one task and redundancy is taking place? Is that something you experience?
Absolutely. Through process mapping, is a very good way to catch that. You'll find out who's working on what. You'll get everybody, all the players in one room. That's crucial. Make sure that everybody who needs to be in the room is in the room. And then you'll learn what each person is doing, whether they feel they should be doing it, and maybe they shouldn't. Maybe it really is part of another department or another person's aspect.
Obviously, you probably have to be pretty good at numbers, not only understanding the numbers today that you see in front of you, but really from an analytical approach of knowing what those mean in the future for the company. Is that something that a lot of managers aren't really equipped to do?
In my experience, no. People who came up through the finance, who come up with degrees in accounting, really know what those numbers are. And I think that a lot of people will, or a lot of managers will learn pieces of what they're doing. But again, they're not looking to look at somebody else's numbers or know what those numbers mean when put together with other numbers. Right. So they may focus on one little piece and they're not seeing the big picture. They're not seeing other pieces that really do affect them.
Interesting. How important is it for these companies to have consistent data, consistent reporting, so they're, like you said earlier, able to make a decision quickly?
Again, I would even go back a further step, and we've all heard this one before: garbage in, garbage out. If your systems aren't set up to handle the data that you need in the future, you're not going to get it in the future. You have to think about it up front, what you're putting into your systems and what you're going to want out of them as you start growing. A lot of small companies go, well, I don't need to know that data, or I can keep it in my head. If you're truly growing and you're getting to the next step, eventually you're not going to be able to keep it in your head, and you're going to have those systems ready for you.
Systems in place, tools in place, that's what you're providing. If these tools aren't in place, can they sometimes miss valuable opportunities if they're not able to seize the day?
Again, absolutely. It's imperative that you know your business, that you know how it operates, that you recognize an opportunity when it comes. Sometimes opportunities come in a cloak. They're not really easy to figure out. But if you're watching for them and you know that you should have your radar on and you should have your ears open for various possibilities, then you can really do something with them.
Like you said earlier, a generalist, I mean, we're talking about accounting, finance, return on investment. Any of these areas that they need a little help in, that's basically where you shine.
Yes. I have also worked with my network to then bring in specialists of these areas. So it's not only that I'm a generalist and can identify the problem or identify an issue, then it's bringing in the right people to really correct it and make it right.
So you're also talking about setting up partnerships for them, alliances for them as well.
Yes, I am talking about that.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is a website. On the website, first of all, you're going to learn a little bit more about the founder there, some of the personal traits that have basically helped her achieve great success. And not only that, hopefully helping you achieve the same. You can also see some of the services she's able to provide for you. But obviously the best way is a consultation, because she basically can take a very customized approach on what it is that you need from a professional standpoint. Like she said, make sure everybody is in the room that needs to be there. I have to ask you before I let you go, where did you get the name for the company, and how does that reflect who you are?
Zan Bear. Zan comes from my last name, and then Bear is it's my view on what I think the consulting relationship is, which means to yield and produce, to carry, to support, to give direction, as in to give bearing. Interesting.
That is a great analogy. Last thing here, obviously these people are putting their trust in you. Is it sometimes a humbling experience and something you really don't take lightly, I would imagine?
Oh, I'm always humbled. I think people out there have great ideas, and most of them did not go into business for their internal operations. I did, but most of them did not. And I love working with people and seeing their minds work and how things grow, and just, I have pure joy when somebody does something that they didn't think they could do.
Wonderful. Last time, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to see is the website. You're also going to see her contact information right there. You can reach out to her via email, give her a call. Basically, she will set up a consultation with you, come in and decide what it is that she can help you with. This is a company that's brand new, 2014, helping you grow your enterprise. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I am here with Adotto. Since 2011, they have been providing experienced stylists, consultants that meet you on location in your home or your office. That is custom menswear. I'm here with the founder. Thanks for joining us here today. Let me ask you, Chase, first of all, as a founder of the company here, share with me a little bit about yourself. What got you involved in this type of industry?
Well, I landed into it on accident. I've always loved tailoring. I've loved, custom suits. I lived out in Asia for a little while, out in the Philippines. And when I was living in the Philippines, you get to travel out to several cities on the cheap. You're a 2-hour flight from Ho Chi Minh City, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Bali. So I would travel for pleasure, but while I was traveling, I would pick up just beautiful custom suits. Some really high quality, some really low quality, some really high price, some really low price, and I just loved it as a customer. I loved it, and I was out working on business out in the Philippines and came back to the United States and went suit shopping for the first time, and that's when I realized there was something missing in Denver especially, but broadly in the United States that Adotto is trying to provide. So that's how I got my taste of it.
Speaking of Denver, you're here touching the town along with Modern Gladiator magazine. What do you guys got going here today?
This is our launch party here in Denver. We have a team of style consultants here in Denver, all throughout the metropolitan area and down in the Springs. So we have all of our team out here at this event with some of our members, and we're just trying to host a launch party.
Obviously, the need was here in the States, like you said. You realized that consumers like you were frustrated with their off-the-rack wardrobe choices. Is that really how it came to be?
Yeah, I mean, there's a growing trend in menswear right now where more men are wanting to dress better today than ever before. Even our target customer, they're not they wouldn't self-identify as a fashionable male. They're just someone who they appreciate looking good, they like the way they look, and that's our customer. And in Denver, the young professionals, and generally our customers between about 25 and about 45. A guy who is early on or a couple years into his career and wants to look really good but doesn't have the budget to go to Savile Row in London, get something handmade for him. And in Denver, the fashion scene is exploding, especially in menswear. So we're a part of that, we think, is we're trying to insert ourselves into the Denver explosion of dressing better. Denver's dressing better, every couple of months, it seems. We're just, on the streets, guys care more about the way their suits fit, the way their shirts fit. So that's what we're a part of here in Denver and down in the Springs.
One thing, you're not limited by a storefront. You're actually getting out there with the people in their homes and their offices. You're able to service folks from Colorado Springs all the way up to Fort Collins along the Front Range.
Yeah.
Does that make you really accessible, basically?
Yeah, I mean, we've always said from the beginning we're an experience company. So what that means is when a customer shops with us, we want them to have fun. We want them to really enjoy it. We pride ourselves in what the fitting experience is like. So we sit down with our members in their home, in their office. We bring fabric swatches, we bring a tape measure, and we bring tons of style guidance. More style guidance than I think our customers realize. We go through what's in their current wardrobe, what do they look good in, what do they want to wear, what do they like to wear, what's their title at work. We try to figure all of that out, and then we start with a blank canvas and we craft looks and outfits that go with their lifestyle. So that's what we're all about. That's why we can't operate in a storefront environment, is we need to get to know our customers before we can, build a custom suit from scratch. So it takes about an hour, and it's a lot of fun.
Quite honestly, there's not too many other options from that off the rack wardrobe. I mean, obviously we can get online, order a suit, but then the suit comes in, you're not sure if it's fitting well. Quite honestly, our consumers, because of that, did we start to settle for that proper fit, and why is fit important?
Absolutely. Without getting too nerdy, there's no incentive for the retailer or for the brand to offer an extreme amount of fits. They want to standardize their fits as much as possible. If we could be in a small, medium, large, extra large environment in retail forever, retailers would, but that doesn't yield the most fits. And so, we're one of the first menswear companies that's really incentivized to offer granular fits. So we take 25 measurements. There's no standard sizing, and fit is everything when it comes to looking good in a suit. When the suit fits right, people notice and people make comments on it. So that's a huge priority.
So this is not mass production quality here. We're talking about quality fabrics, quality artisans, tailors out there has made you successful in moving forward.
We make our suits, we don't sell them. And very few retailers can say that they actually make their suits. It's a handcrafted process and it takes time. Our prices are really accessible compared to other custom menswear brands, but they're a little bit more than what you'd find at a Men's Warehouse. So they start at $300, go up to $595. We're one of the most aggressively priced custom menswear brands in the world, but men are paying a little bit more when they commission a custom suit through us, but it's the fit. The fit is what makes it worth it. So.
To me, one of the most personalized items that I have is my clothing. Not only does it make a statement about who I am, but also I have to live in it all day, making sure it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Obviously, personalization is what you guys are all about. Personalization matters as well.
Yeah. Anything from the monogram. We have a lot of our members who are attorneys. They love having their initials on the cuffs of their shirts. Or we have some of our younger members. They love splashy colors on the inside of the lining. It can come down to personalization of just what you want to reflect when you're wearing your suits, or it can come down to your team colors. It can come down to a color that you like, or matching the shirts you have in your wardrobe. Personalization's everything.
This is a high-touch experience that, quite honestly, was only afforded to the Hollywood elite before. You have eliminated the middleman, the jobber, the wholesaler, to basically make it affordable for the common person out there that understands value of great clothing.
Yeah. One of the most exciting things we do at Adotto is we introduce men to custom for the very first time. Most of our customers haven't had the experience of being able to commission a custom suit before. It's foreign to most people. It was very foreign to me in the very beginnings, because custom suits, they start at $1,500 usually and go all the way up to more than your mortgage, more than your car is worth sometimes. It's absurd. And even as much as I love suits and know suits, I would never pay for I would never, buy a suit for more than $1,000. It's just, at some point it has to stop. So a big part of what we're trying to do is make it accessible, but without jeopardizing quality. So our suits range from $300 to $595, like we said. But from a quality standpoint, they compare to suits being sold at about $1,000 to $1,500. But we're more direct to the factory. We don't have a lot of the overhead costs. That's what helps us keep it affordable.
Let's walk the viewers through the process here of how it works. Yeah. They start off first of all by scheduling a meeting. How do they do that?
So we call it a first fitting. So the first fitting is anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, hour and a half even. It depends on how detailed our member wants to get on personalization, on fabrics. So what we usually do is we start out going through the fabric collection. We bring in hundreds of fabrics. So we flip through the swatch booklet, find the right fabrics, and literally, draw out a blank canvas and design it from scratch, shoulders down to toe. Everything from the lapels. You'll notice my pocket's on the right side of my chest. Most suits have the pocket on the left. We go through just dozens of details. Functional sleeves, kissing buttons, the linings on the inside. we go through all of that, take measurements, 20 to 25 measurements, and then the work gets started. So we run our own tailoring facility in Shanghai, China, where we handcraft all of our suits and shirts. So we lay out all the measurements, build the patterns, do all of the assembly, come back 4 to 6 weeks later for the second fitting. The second fitting, we help the member into the jacket, we evaluate the fit, we may bring things in, we may let things out, and then the final fitting happens a week later. So it's about a 4 to 6 week ordeal, but it's very personalized. Lots of touch points, lots of involvement, because we're meticulous. You know, suits, you need to get it right, especially on fit. So, you know, we hire some of the most stylish, you know, suit experts in the Denver and Springs area. They're our style consultants, and they're the ones who help our members through the experience.
So no matter what, at the end of the day, you've got a perfect fit guarantee that is right there for them.
Verbatim, that's what we call it, the perfect fit guarantee. So any alterations, any fine tuning, if we even need to start from scratch in order to achieve the right fit, we do so. Because my definition of a good fit might be different from yours. You know, I like a very slim fit. You know, Joel, our vice president of sales, he doesn't like as modern of a fit. And so the real goal is, as style consultants, we need to identify, what do you picture when you say, you know, I want to look like $1 million? What's in your head? And that's what we uncover in the first fitting. We go deeper on the second fitting, and then we get it on the final fitting.
Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you're going to take a look at what they offer. We're talking about suits, we're talking shirts, pants, blazers, you name it. They're going to make sure the men out there are looking great and feeling great. You can also basically click right there and set up and schedule an appointment. At the appointment, they're going to walk you through these measurements and show you a customization experience probably that you've never experienced before. Obviously, we're talking a lot about suits here, but we do live in Denver. It gets cold out there. I understand you guys are able to keep us warm with outerwears as well.
Yeah, we have 3 brilliant outerwear jackets. We have the military jacket. It's kind of a 1960s grunge look that goes well over any suit or over any t-shirt alike. It goes really well with that. We offer the pilot's pea coat, your classic pea coat. It can come to mid-thigh or down to calf, or the classic top coat. And that's your classy English gentleman top coat. But yeah, outerwear's fun in the winter, especially we come, you know, I hail from Salt Lake City. We're here in Denver. It gets cold. There's a lot of snow, so in the wintertime, that's our specialty.
Wonderful. You guys are out here hosting with Modern Gladiator, basically touching the town here, giving them an idea what you're all about. What has the response been? What are people thinking about this?
We kind of feel like we're on a mission to, to help men dress better across the United States. We service Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Denver, and Atlanta. In Denver especially, we're being received really well. A lot of men want to look good, but they don't know where to start. And that's exactly what we do, is we help through style consultation. We go through and identify, how can you look just a little better? You know, we don't want to push you outside your comfort zone. We just want to help you feel more comfortable in what you're wearing. We want you to look like you want to look. So we're being received well, I think. Modern Gladiator is a great partner in this. They're all things style, sartorial. They're more broad in their style emphasis. We're very much, custom tailored shirts, custom tailored suits, top coats. It's a very it's a more business professional look, whereas Modern Gladiator is a little more broad, and we like that because we're also agnostic to, I wore jeans and a blazer to this event on purpose. Suits don't have to just be for a professional environment or for a funeral, right? Most of our members, after they get fitted and look good in the fit, they're not guys who have to wear suits, they're guys who want to wear suits, So that's what we're really trying to convey, and in Denver it's being received well.
Last time viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website, as well as their contact information is right there. That is Adotto Custom Menswear, brand new for 2011. They're here launching in Denver, that's why we had to come out here. We're talking about having your own personal tailor, stylist, concierge, right at your fingertips. If it sounds different, it's because they are. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.
Canine Rehabilitation and Conditioning Group leads the industry of animal rehabilitation, and our caring team will help your dog or cat to feel stronger, move better, and get back into the game of life. Our rehabilitation experts are leading the industry of restoring quality of life to geriatric, injured, overweight, post-operative, and neurological or otherwise compromised dogs through physical therapy and integrative veterinary approaches.